Imagine a quiet, unassuming afternoon that unexpectedly evolves into a moment of profound change, for an international superstar and for a young boy from a struggling family. What starts as a simple act of honesty becomes a moving tale of kindness and character. When Snoop Dogg accidentally loses his wallet, he has no idea that the decision made by 12-year-old Diego will leave everyone involved deeply touched and inspired. If Diego's remarkable story resonates with you, be sure to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. It all began on an ordinary afternoon, with Snoop Dogg deciding to take a break from his busy life. While his celebrity status often dictated schedules packed with events and meetings, Snoop valued moments of simplicity, a chance to step away from the spotlight and reconnect with the world around him. Dressed in baggy jeans, a plain t-shirt, and his signature beanie, Snoop blended seamlessly into the crowd as he strolled through a modest neighborhood in the city, soaking in the day like any regular man. Unbeknownst to him, the day was about to take an unexpected turn. Somewhere along the way, his wallet slipped from his pocket. An ordinary black leather wallet, but one that carried extraordinary value. Inside were personal treasures, handwritten notes, cherished photographs, credit cards, and a fair amount of cash. As Snoop approached a small store to grab some snacks, he reached for his wallet only to realize it was missing. His casual demeanor shifted to concern as he checked every pocket and retraced his steps, but the wallet was nowhere to be found. While the financial loss wasn't a major concern for Snoop, the sentimental keepsakes held within were irreplaceable. Frustrated but hopeful, Snoop sighed deeply and wondered if an honest person might stumble upon the wallet and return it. Little did he know that fate was about to intervene, and his story would cross paths with someone he'd never forget. On the other side of the city, a 12-year-old boy named Diego walked home from school along his usual route. Diego came from a family that had seen its share of struggles. His mother, Lucia, worked tirelessly at 2 low-paying jobs to support him and his younger sister, Isabella. Ever since their father had left, life had been marked by financial challenges, late rent payments, sparse groceries, and a broken heater that needed fixing before the colder months arrived. Despite these hardships, Lucia had instilled strong values in her children, teaching them the importance of honesty, integrity, and compassion. As Diego walked, his eyes caught sight of a black wallet lying on the ground. Curiously, he picked it up and opened it. Inside was more cash than Diego had ever seen, more than enough to alleviate many of his family's burdens. For a fleeting moment, the thought crossed his mind: the money could help pay the rent on time, buy groceries to fill their empty pantry, or even repair the broken heater in their apartment. Yet, as Diego continued to look through the wallet's contents, he discovered something that stopped him in his tracks: a photograph of a man he recognized but couldn't immediately identify. Beneath the photo was an ID card bearing the name Snoop Dogg. Though Diego wasn't an avid follower of Snoop's music, he had heard his name before. Realizing he had found something belonging to someone important, Diego made the decision to return the wallet. He knew it wasn't his to keep, despite the temptations it presented. He took the wallet home and showed it to his mother, Lucia. Lucia's reaction was one of surprise. "Snoop Dogg?" she exclaimed, her eyes widening. "He's a famous rapper, the one with those cool videos and music you've seen before." Diego's own eyes widened in amazement. "So, he's really rich?" he asked innocently. Lucia nodded but added with a warm smile, "Yes, he's successful. But from what I've heard, he's also a good man. If this wallet belongs to him, you should return it." Diego had already resolved to do the right thing, but his mother's encouragement solidified his decision. Together, they borrowed their neighbor's phone and searched online for a way to contact Snoop's management team. After leaving a heartfelt message explaining that Diego had found the wallet and wanted to return it, the message eventually reached Snoop through his staff. When Snoop received the news, he was deeply moved by Diego's honesty and integrity. Though he could have sent someone from his team to retrieve the wallet, Snoop insisted on meeting Diego personally. "I need to meet this boy," he told his staff. "And his family. It's the least I can do." The next day, Snoop arrived at a small park near Diego's neighborhood, without the usual entourage or security detail. As he approached, he saw Diego waiting nervously, clutching the wallet tightly in his hands. With a warm smile, Snoop greeted him, instantly putting the boy at ease. Diego held out the wallet. "Here it is, Mr. Dogg," he said softly, his voice trembling. "I didn't take anything. It's all there." Snoop opened the wallet and quickly confirmed its contents. Everything was intact: the cash, cards, and cherished items. He looked at Diego, his eyes filled with gratitude. "Thank you, Diego," Snoop said, his voice sincere. You don't know how much this means to me. You're a good person. Your actions say a lot about who you are. Diego looked down shyly, his voice barely audible. My mom always says we should do the right thing no matter how hard life is. Snoop smiled, deeply touched by the boy's words. Your mom sounds like a very wise woman, he said. It's hard to do the right thing, especially when nobody's watching. She must be so proud of you. Diego nodded, a quiet sense of pride filling him. I did think about what the money could do for my family, he admitted. But I remembered what my mom taught me, and it's always better to be honest. Snoop crouched down, bringing himself to Diego's level. That's a powerful lesson, he said warmly. You could have helped your family with that money, but you chose to return it. What made you decide that? Diego hesitated, looking at the ground before speaking. It just didn't feel right to keep it, he said simply. And then I saw your photo. I knew you were someone important. I didn't want to hurt you. Snoop's heart melted at Diego's candid explanation. You're a special kid, Diego, he said. Not everyone would do what you did, especially given how hard things are for you and your family. You're stronger than you know. Diego smiled shyly again but opened up more about his life. He talked about his mom's hard work, his hopes to make her proud, and the challenges of growing up without his father. As Snoop listened, his expression softened, and he felt a deep admiration for the boy and his family. I just want my sister to have a better life. My mom deserves a break, Diego said, his voice tinged with both determination and sadness. Snoop Dogg felt an unexpected lump rise in his throat as he looked at the young boy standing before him. You're carrying so much on your shoulders for someone so young, Snoop said, his voice steady but heavy with emotion. It's not fair that you have to worry about these things. Diego glanced up at Snoop, his eyes filled with a mixture of hope and vulnerability. I just want to help her, he admitted. She's always there for us, even when things are rough. Sometimes I feel like I need to be the man of the house, even though I'm just a kid. Snoop could see the weight of responsibility etched into Diego's face, far too much for someone his age. He sighed softly, shaking his head. That's a heavy burden for someone so young, Diego, Snoop said gently. It's okay to lean on your mom too. You're both in this together. Diego nodded, the movement slow as he processed Snoop's words. I know, he said hesitantly, but I see how hard she works and sometimes I just want to take care of her. I don't want her to have to worry about money. I just want her to be happy. Snoop smiled, admiration evident in his expression. Your heart's in the right place, Diego, he said with sincerity. But you have to remember it's okay to ask for help. That doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. Diego appeared to mull over Snoop's words, the wheels in his young mind clearly turning. After a pause he shrugged slightly. I guess you're right, but it's hard, Diego admitted. I want to be strong for her. When my dad left, everything changed. I just want to make sure my sister has a good life, and that my mom doesn't have to struggle alone. Snoop's heart ached for the boy. He could feel the weight of Diego's words, the quiet pain they carried, and the love that drove him to shoulder so much. I can't imagine how hard that must be, Snoop said, his tone filled with empathy. Sometimes families face challenges that feel impossible to overcome. But it sounds to me like your family is full of love. And that love, that's what really matters. Diego's eyes brightened slightly, encouraged by Snoop's words. We do love each other, Diego said softly, a faint smile touching his lips. My mom always tells me that love is what keeps us strong. Even when we don't have much, we still have each other. Snoop's face broke into a warm smile. Exactly, he said with conviction. That love can carry you through the toughest of times. And you're already helping your family, Diego, just by being there for them. Diego's cheeks flushed slightly, a mix of shyness and pride washing over him. Thank you, Snoop, he said quietly. That means a lot. I just want to be a good big brother and a good son. You already are, Snoop reassured him. And you know what? I want to help too. Is there anything I can do for you and your family? Diego's eyes widened in surprise, his jaw dropping slightly. Really? You'd help us? Snoop's eyes glistened with unshed tears as he reached out, placing a comforting hand on Diego's shoulder. You'll see what I can do, he said, his voice steady with promise. True to his word, Snoop sprang into action. Drawing on his extensive network, he arranged an interview for Lucia at a reputable company that could provide stable employment with better pay. But Snoop's generosity didn't end there. He also made sure the family received immediate assistance. Groceries were delivered to their home, new clothes were purchased for the children, and funds were provided to cover their rent for several months, giving Lucia some much-needed relief. A few weeks later, Snoop invited Diego, Lucia, and Isabella to visit him on the set of his latest music video. For the family, it was an unforgettable experience. They had never seen anything like it before and were treated as VIPs. Snoop introduced them to the cast and crew, gave them a behind-the-scenes tour, and made sure they felt right at home. During the visit, Snoop handed Lucia a sealed envelope. Inside was an official job offer from the company he had contacted, along with a heartfelt handwritten note thanking her for raising such an honest and kind son. Overwhelmed with gratitude, Lucia turned to Snoop, tears shining in her eyes. "Snoop, I don't know how to thank you," she said, her voice trembling with emotion. Snoop smiled warmly. "You don't have to thank me," he replied gently. "It's your son who made this happen. He's the kind of person who inspires others to do good." But the story didn't end there. What started as a simple act of kindness soon blossomed into something much larger. The moment Diego returned Snoop's wallet was witnessed by a local resident, Mrs. Martinez, who had been enjoying her coffee at a nearby cafe. Moved by the boy's honesty, she recorded the encounter on her phone, capturing the heartfelt interaction as Diego handed the wallet back to Snoop. Mrs. Martinez shared the video on her social media account, tagging a local news station. The footage quickly gained traction, attracting a flurry of attention. Within hours, the video had gone viral, with viewers expressing admiration for Diego's selflessness and sincerity. The local news team decided to cover the story, interviewing Diego, his mother Lucia, and even Snoop himself. The heartwarming segment aired that evening, featuring footage of Diego returning the wallet and highlighting Lucia's strength as a single mother. The headline read, "Local boy's honesty shines bright. Young hero returns wallet to hip-hop star." The story touched hearts across the community and beyond. Social media lit up with praise for Diego, with hashtags like #KindnessMatters trending across platforms. Comments poured in, many applauding Diego's actions and his mother's values. "This is the kind of story we need more of, children with good morals," one user wrote. Another said, "Shout out to this mom for raising a kid like Diego even in tough times." As the news spread, public figures and celebrities joined the conversation, sharing the story on their own platforms and praising Diego for his integrity. Diego's simple act of kindness had become a powerful reminder of the good that still exists in the world. Snoop Dogg took to Twitter to share his profound thoughts on the experience, writing, "Honesty is a rare gift. Proud of this young man for reminding us all of what truly matters. Kindness matters." The heartfelt tweet quickly captured the attention of his massive audience, attracting millions of likes and retweets within hours. The overwhelming positivity overshadowed any negativity surrounding the story, with an outpouring of support from fans and celebrities alike further amplifying its reach across social media platforms. The momentum didn't stop there. Producers from popular talk shows soon reached out, eager to feature Diego and his family. Lucia, Diego's mother, received calls to arrange interviews, offering her the chance to share their inspiring story with the world. What began as a small act of honesty snowballed into a movement, sparking conversations about the importance of kindness and moral values in today's fast-paced society. As Diego's story continued to gain traction, it caught the attention of educational organizations nationwide. Schools began incorporating the narrative into lessons on ethics and character development, using Diego's choice as a case study to prompt students to reflect critically on moral decisions. Educators emphasized the impact that simple actions can have on individuals and their communities. Students were inspired to think about what it means to act with integrity, even in challenging circumstances. Soon, Diego and his younger sister Isabella were awarded scholarships, a tangible recognition of their family's strength and values. Meanwhile, nonprofits dedicated to youth empowerment also stepped forward, hoping to collaborate with Diego and his family on initiatives promoting community service and acts of kindness. Fueled by Diego's inspiring actions, these organizations launched campaigns designed to foster empathy and inclusivity among young people. The ripple effect of his honesty spread far and wide, touching hearts and encouraging others to follow his example. Snoop Dogg, deeply moved by the events, announced plans to establish a charity aimed at supporting low-income families. He wanted to ensure that acts of kindness like Diego's would have lasting, far-reaching impacts. Through this new initiative, Snoop hoped to provide opportunities for families facing adversity, reinforcing the idea that small, honest gestures could lead to meaningful change. For Diego and his family, this moment marked a turning point in their lives. Shortly after the media attention, Lucia began her new job at a company Snoop had helped arrange, providing her with a stable income. This financial security allowed the family to move into a better apartment, one where Diego and Isabella could study and dream of brighter futures. Diego, now empowered by the scholarship, envisioned himself achieving goals once thought impossible, while Isabella's own dreams grew more vibrant with each passing day. It was clear that one act of kindness had transformed their lives forever. Snoop, too, felt the profound impact of his encounter with Diego. During a later interview, he reflected on the experience, saying, "It's not about the wallet, it's about the kindness and integrity of a young boy who chose to do the right thing. Diego reminded me of what truly matters in life. It's not about fame or wealth, it's about making an impact that lasts." But Diego's story reached even beyond those immediately involved. Communities began to celebrate acts of integrity and embrace kindness as a virtue worth prioritizing. Schools integrated his story into their curriculum, teaching students the importance of honesty, empathy, and selflessness. Local organizations launched campaigns encouraging young people to get involved in community service, fostering a culture of goodwill and mutual support. Families found renewed strength in instilling these values in their children, emphasizing that doing the right thing matters, regardless of the challenges they face. Diego's actions became a beacon of hope, reminding people everywhere that one individual's integrity could ignite a wave of positive change. His simple but powerful decision inspired a collective movement toward a more compassionate, ethical society, a lesson that resonated deeply with people of all ages and backgrounds. What are your thoughts on Diego's inspiring actions? How do you think his story could influence society for the better? Share your reflections in the comments below. If this video touched your heart, make sure to like, subscribe, and share with others who need a little inspiration today. And don't forget to click the next video featured on your screen, it's one you won't want to miss.